Oakridge Center Shift 14 is a shift with 4 recap templates: check-in, check-out, job complete, and midpoint. Two talents are committed on the shift. Shift starts at 8:30 a.m. and ends at 9:30 a.m. Recap drafts are also created in Recaps tab. Talents can submit these recaps from app. The submission deadline is set to 15 minutes in recap configurations. Talent can find this shift in the committed jobs section on app. Recap section in Shift shows all the unsubmitted recaps. Talent can check in on the shift by clicking the check-in icon. A message will appear notifying the talent that a check-in recap is available. Click Go to Recap to open the check-in recap. A timer on the top shows the remaining time left to submit the recap. Talent can submit check-in recap within 15 minutes after shift start. Talent can navigate back without submitting the recap. This recap is now unlocked, which means that Talent will find the recap as editable in Recap section of Shift Details. The recap can be opened and submitted from Shift Details or by clicking the check-in icon. Talent can answer the recap questions and submit the recap. The red label on the top indicates that this is the required recap. A toast appears notifying user of the remaining time left to edit recap. Talent can edit recap from the Recap section in Shift Details. A timer on the top shows the time left to edit recap. The actual submission time of recap is also displayed. If Talent opens the check-in recap after 15 minutes of shift start, the editable option will not appear. Talent can only view the submitted recap answers. Submitted time of recap appears on top. A message shows that the recap submission deadline has ended. If Talent is using the app and midpoint of the shift is reached, a pop-up message will appear, notifying the user about the midpoint recap. Midpoint recap can be opened by clicking Go to Recap or from Recap section in Shift Details. For a 1-hour shift, the midpoint will appear after half an hour. Talent can answer the recap questions. Talent has 15 minutes to submit this recap after the midpoint has reached. For a 8:30 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. shift, midpoint appears at 9 a.m. Talent can submit and edit the midpoint recap till 9:15 a.m. A message on top shows the remaining submission time. Talent can edit the recap from Recap section in Shift Details. The submission time of recap appears on top, and a timer below shows the remaining edit time. If the midpoint recap is opened after the submission and edit deadline is over, a message will appear on top. At the end of Shift, Talent can tap the checkout icon. Click Go to Recap button to open Recap. Talent has 15 minutes to submit and edit the checkout recap after the shift end time. Shift ends at 9:30 a.m. Talent can submit and edit this recap till 9:45 a.m. A timer on top shows remaining time. Talent answers the recap questions and submits the recap. A toast appears notifying the user of the remaining time left to edit this recap. After successful submission of Checkout Recap, the Job Complete Recap will also become editable in Recap section of Shift Details. The Checkout Recap can be opened to edit from Shift Details. A timer on top shows the time left to edit recap. Recaps required message appears on top of Shift Details screen when a required recap is available for submission. Job Complete Recap can be opened from Shift Details or by tapping the Job Complete icon. Click Go to Recap button. A timer on top shows the remaining time to submit the recap. Job Completed Recap can be submitted and edited within 15 minutes after the shift end time, just like Checkout Recap. Shift end time in this case is 9:30. Talent can submit and edit this recap till 9:45 a.m. As soon as Talent submits this recap, the job will be marked as completed. The shift will appear in Completed Job section on app. Talent can edit the Job Complete Recap from Recap section in Shift Details. After 15 minutes of shift end time, Checkout Recap and Job Complete Recap will become uneditable. A message will appear on top showing that the submission and edit deadline is over. The second talent who is committed on the shift does not submit the check-in recap within 15 minutes of shift start. Tapping check-in icon in this case will show a time limit exceeded message, and talent will not be able to perform the check-in action or submit the recap. Time limit message appears in other cases also. If midpoint recap, checkout, and job complete recap is not submitted within the defined deadline. As the talent cannot check in on the shift, the other actions also cannot be performed.